after midnight, I was going through Twitter, going through my Twitter machine, and I saw where Shams said breaking. The Dallas Mavericks are trading Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris to the Los Angeles Lakers for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first round pick, sources tell ESPN. Three-team deal that includes Utah. First and foremost, I thought Shams got hacked.
That's fair.
I'm literally, because I'm like going through my feed. I'm like, wait, this is not real. This is not real at all. This is not real. And it comes back and he says, yes, this is real. Sources tell ESPN full trade. Lakers, Luka, Maxi, Markieff Morris, Mavericks, Anthony Davis, Max Christie, 2029 Los Angeles first round pick. And the Jazz gets Jalen Hood, Shafino, a 2025 Clippers second, and a 2025 Mavericks second. And here's the crazy part that you and I had talked about, but I want to talk about it on the show. The trade details was simply this. Number one, for all those that said LeBron had to know about it, LeBron was in the know. He was not. Anthony Davis was not in the know. Rich Paul and Clutch Sports were not in the know. Luka Dončić was not in the know. This was something that the Mavericks GM and the Lakers GM were in cahoots on for the past 3 or 4 weeks, working out this trade.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, Luka had just closed on a $12 million home in Dallas.
15.
See, $15 million. Anthony Davis closed on a $30 million home in Bel Air. He was thinking he was going to be a Laker for life. And this is where it gets even nastier. So Danny Ainge is the GM of the Jazz, and this is what the report is from ESPN. He was reportedly kept in the dark on the gravity of the deal. It says even the Utah Jazz, the third team that facilitated the transaction by collecting 2 second-round picks for absorbing Jalen Hood Shafino, didn't know Doncic and Davis were a part of the deal until an hour before it was completed, league sources said. Even the Jazz president Danny Ainge, who hails from the Lakers' hated rival, the Boston Celtics, had up only 30 minutes notice, sources said, that Los Angeles was about to acquire Doncic and to be the new face of its franchise. But by then, it was too late and too much about it to do much about it, and the NBA history was about to be altered. This is exactly why a lot of these players, they want to take control of their own destiny. But here's the thing. When some of these players trying to take control of their own destiny and going the wrong way about it, this move right here, and I don't agree with it, but this is these owners and GMs saying we're taking the power back.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you see all these stars, not the middle of the road players, not the bench players, I'm talking about these stars that are forcing their way out of their contracts. When you saw what James Harden did a few years ago when he wanted to get out of Houston to get to Brooklyn. When you saw
Mm-hmm.
what Kevin Durant did to get out of Brooklyn to go where he went to Phoenix. When you see all of these players forcing their way out of these contracts after they signed these contracts, but these owners and GMs can trade you at will. So it's a double-edged
Mm-hmm.
sword. You know what I mean? What was your
Mm-hmm.
initial reaction when you first heard about this trade? And what do you think the ramifications means going forward for the NBA from this season and beyond?
So I wasn't shocked because whenever it's trade season, there are always going to be one or two that like you kind of see coming. And then there's always one big one where you're like, what? And we hadn't got our what moment. So like,
Mm-hmm.
yes, I was surprised, but you put nothing past any GM when it comes time to make things happen. So like I wasn't too surprised. I'm very interested to see how it plays out. I hear KD's trying to get out. I hear there are a lot of people like, so I'm very curious to see what moves will still out hanging out in the world right now. WNBA, same thing. They had some very interesting moves recently. I mean, Sid Colson now is signing with the Fever as of this evening on Tuesday night.
Right.
Um, BG left Phoenix. We still don't know what Diana Taurasi is doing. Like there are still like when it comes to free agency, that's the whole point, is to shake things up. So I love it. I love it.
But we've never seen this type of move before. When you have
It's a bad
I
move.
mean, two first All NBA players traded mid-season. We're
Hmm.
not talking about, July 1st in the summer and all that other stuff.
Hmm.
No, we're talking mid-season.
Hmm.
We've never seen. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if you remember when, oh God, when Chris Paul, when he was playing for the
Mm.
New Orleans Pelicans, and he was being traded to the Lakers.
Yep.
Kobe and I think Pau Gasol was waiting for him at the airport, and by the time he landed, the NBA vetoed the trade. And it was a technicality, and I don't know if you remember, because at that time the Pelicans didn't have an ownership. They didn't have an actual owner at the time. They did not.
Hmm.
So the NBA ultimately was acting as the owner. David Stern was overseeing everything.
Hmm.
And because of the fact that the acting GM, where I don't even remember who that was at the time, was the one that signed off on the trade, David Stern wasn't in the mix, and he didn't know. Thus, why he had to ultimately veto the trade. But from what I understand, and this is just over this is as stuff has come out over the years, that there were some other owners that really did not like the trade and didn't think it was fair that the Lakers are always reaping the
Getting
benefits.
up. Hmm.
Right, but even in this situation now, it's like, damn, like the Lakers are getting like they're and now they have a think about this. Luka is only 25 years old. He has minimum 10 years left. And he could play another 10 years.
Hmm.
That you already know. International appeal. I can already see it already. You can't spell Luka without LA. You know what I mean? Like all these little things. Now, what I'm interested in finding out is, where does LeBron fit into all of this now? Because they're two both ball dominant players. Now, obviously, LeBron can pay the one, the two, the three, the four, the five, but they don't right now. They got rid of their big man, and they're one of their biggest defensive threats in Anthony Davis. I'm wondering now. Now, granted, as we're recording this, trade deadline is still ongoing.
Hmm.
So as a Bulls fan, obviously we just lost Zach LaVine yesterday, which day before yesterday, which I'm not happy about. That's another story for another day. But I'm thinking, okay, I said Vucevic has to be next now. So I'm thinking, if the Lakers going to get a big man, they give hey, listen, give us your first round pick, and we'll give you Vucevic. And if we're going to be hitting the reset button. But I'm just really interested to see if LeBron is going to stick around. Is he going to waive his no trade clause and see what team would potentially take LeBron, which would be crazy. LeBron James getting traded, right? That would be insane.
I don't think he's going anywhere because of Bronny.
Mm.
He did all this to get Bronny in and to poop with Bronny, so I don't foresee him going anywhere unless Bronny goes.
Package deal.
And that's the only reason why I don't see him leaving, honestly, is because he just did all this work to get Bronny at the Lakers for him to leave.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, I don't see that
Right.
happening, but you never know.
Yeah, that is crazy. And like I said, that is just nasty though. I mean, when you really think about it, it's like you're completely in the dark about everything. And Anthony and what's my man name from Minnesota? Ant-Man. And he was just saying, he was telling the owner, he said, "Look, man, if y'all are looking to trade me, just tell me."
Right?
I mean, that's just bad. That's just bad, bad. LeBron's like eating out. They just beat the Knicks. The Lakers had just beat the Knicks, and
Hmm.
all of a sudden, I'm just like, well, damn. He didn't. Everyone's finding out on their phones. The Suns were playing somebody, and they're all on their phones looking at this all happening on their phones during a game.
Hmm.
Terrible.